Hi and welcome back to Blue Sky Bonsai. In this video I'm going to repot this azalea. It's a beautiful tree. It's quite early in the season, it's at the beginning of March, but I'm fearing that the roots are very compacted. I would normally wait until after flowering to repot an azalea, but in this case I think the soil is very compacted. Probably the roots are suffering. It's not draining through very well at all, and when I looked under it, it's really just solid mud. So first thing, of course, is just to ease it gently out of the pot, and we'll look at the condition of the roots all the way around the edges and just decide whether it really needs repotting right now or later in spring after flowering. We don't know when the last time it was repotted. Hasn't been repotted here in Spain, so it would have been sometime in Japan. We'll look at the roots and see how they are. Let's just have another close-up of the soil here. I'll rake a little bit away so we can see how it looks. So actually, when you look at it, it is really matted with soil. It is potland. So I'm glad that I looked now in early spring, before it's flowered. I am going to repot it now. It's really just solid mud, and so we need to sort that out pretty quickly before flowering season. The buds have started swelling, so it's fine to do it now. And there's a lovely bumblebee checking it out. Another thing to consider about azalea is that the roots are very fine, very fragile. There's a good chance you can just rip off quite a lot of the root mass, and I'd much rather do it more carefully and more gently. So I'll just spray it with quite high pressure. It's not very high pressure, but just high enough to take off the majority of the mud, and I'll do very gently with the root hook. So I've put a coat on because this is pretty messy work. More drainage shields, and you can reuse those. Of course, the azalea is not the same as other bonsai trees, and strictly speaking, the azalea is not a tree. All of these fine roots, very compact, very dense, and they're all very, very thin, stringy. They break very easily, and as a result of that, we have to be quite careful root pruning these, because great chunks can come away, and these are the fine roots that keep the tree alive. I'm going to leave quite a lot of the root balls just intact. It's still very hard and compact, but the more I dig into it, the more roots I'm tearing. And what we can do is just little by little over several years, gradually tap down into here. If you do an overly aggressive root pruning on an azalea, there's quite a lot of risk, and this particular one I don't want to risk it. I need to get some root scissors and just trim around the edge. Get my root scissors. I'm going to call that a job done, the root pruning. Right, so now I'm going to prepare the pot. Got these drainage screens, so what we're going to do is just tie the drainage screens into the bottom with a bit of wire and bend it out at the sides. Simple. Now these drainage holes in the corners we shall take advantage of for also tying the tree down. Right, so first just a straight layer of pumice just for the drainage and for aeration. Now we'll put some, this soil is a mix of Kanuma, which is acidic, and organic soil. Let's just flatten out the drainage layer and add some soil. Piling it a bit more in the middle, and the idea is that we push down the tree onto the soil. Let's try now. Now that, I need to lean it a little bit towards me because it's leaning that way a bit too much. I'll start by tying the wires loosely. And then later on we'll tighten them up. The other side. Looking good. Now I'm just going to put some soil down the sides around the edge. I'm going to poke it because Kanuma crushes quite easily. What you don't want is for all this soil to crush, because then it becomes that compact, horrible mess that I've just cleaned out this morning. Right, so I've got my rubber hammer, which is very useful for knocking the soil underneath all the roots. However, before I do that, I'm just going to tighten up the wires a little bit more. Try and firm the tree a bit better into place. So, and we bang softly with a rubber hammer. To get all the soil to settle underneath the roots. Once we've done that, we put some more soil in. Kanuma is one of those soils that changes colour quite a bit. It goes almost completely white when it's dry, so you can see very quickly if the surface is dry. Let's give it a quick toil. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe, and see you in the next video.